From juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. I am live from Mom and Dad's house in the Crime Zine Craft Zone, and I'm so happy you are joining me tonight. It is Thursday, August 7th, 2025, and I've got some very fun projects to share with you. There is so much happening in August. I feel like I can hardly keep up as we are traveling and visiting family this week, but I'm taking a few minutes to share with you. And then the time zones are throwing me off. It is 7:15 back home, but it's 8:15 here in the Eastern time zone. Actually, a little after 8:15, isn't it? But let me know what time it is where you're watching. I'm so happy that you're here. I've got a little bit of a different setup. I'm going to try to hopefully watch the comments. They're kind of on my side today, but I think we can make this. Work. Maybe actually I can. Hold on, let's turn this to, I think I can do a tablet mode. Oh, but I just lost the chat. There it is, okay. All right, I think I got it, maybe. Yes, but we need to scoot up a little bit. All right, hi everybody. Oh my gosh, it's early over there in California, isn't it? We've got Alita and Michelle watching from the Pacific time zone where it's 5:24. I always forget that it's so early sometimes for some of you watching and so late for others of you. So hello everybody. Okay, so today I have some fun projects to share with you. We need to come up a little bit more, I think, like here. Does that look good? Oh my gosh, no, my camera is going crazy. This is also a different camera holder. I think I just need to... There. We'll center it on the crime zone. Sorry for the earthquake. A little shaky there. Okay, I think we're set though, and hopefully the camera will hold here. This is the same camera holder that I use at home, but it's not mine, and so I feel like it's a little finicky. We'll see. We're gonna make some fun cards today. I've got a new bundle called Label Me Grateful, and this actually is available for you right now. It's part of the July online exclusives. So I know we've been talking a lot about the pre-order that's happening right now for demonstrators, and I know you guys are really excited about seeing all that new product. My order came today here at Mom and Dad's house, and I opened the box so they could reuse the box for something else, but I haven't had a chance to really open the paper and look yet. So I'll do an unboxing soon after I'm back home and a little bit settled. So today we're using some of the July online exclusives. These came out last month. There's a whole flyer for you, and I'll link that up in the video description. I've been trying to use a lot of these different things that are brand new that you can get right now. So there's that Floral Charm Suite, the Perfectly Pairs, Spooky Suite if you're ready for some Halloween projects, and then there's some bundles, and I've been trying to limit myself on the bundles. Mom and I were talking because I was helping to pull even more of her things off the shelf because there's a new last chance list, and really just feeling like I need to maybe not buy as many things, slow down and use what I have. And so I'm using a bundle that I wasn't going to get, but I did, but now I got to use it. I got to use it up so that I can justify having bought it. So Label Me Grateful here is on page 5 of this online exclusives flyer. And we also have some standalone stamp sets. On Tuesday, I shared the Artistic Leaves, which Mom had. I was really excited to be able to play with that. But we've got so much going on this month in August. In addition to the online exclusives that are available from last month, we also have the in-color sale. So 2025 to 2027 in-color products. These are select products that are on sale in August, 15% off. This is including cardstock, ink pads, right inkers, designer paper, ribbon, but also we have some things. I just see my camera's like doot, 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 doot. It keeps sliding up. That's so weird. Not any, but select products that have one in color in them, like designer paper, kits. Oh my gosh, there's new kits. feel like we have so much to catch up on, you guys. So one of the new kits is on sale. It's part of the sale, 15% off. So this is super exciting. This is happening in August, and it's going on for the whole month, for the whole rest of the month. It just started on Tuesday. But you want to shop early, because once they run out, which they might temporarily run out of some of these things, then you might not get the discount because it might not be back in stock before the end of the month. So make sure to shop early for the in color sale. Last chance list was just updated. I spent some time last night before bed trying to reorganize it and clean it up for you to make it easier to read. I've organized by original release and then alphabetized within those sections. So I want to highlight just a few things that are some of my favorites. There's a couple kits that are 50% off. I love the kits, but 50% off is just like such an amazing deal. So the ones that are 50% off are a look back kit. That's like a little pink journal. It's really super cute. I just bought one for Anna, and she is chronicling her summer adventures in it. It's so super cute. It's also a good one to get to make like a gratitude journal. So if you're thinking of something like that, it's a great gift, and it's $12.50. So for that price, you just grab a couple and put them away for Christmas. You'll be happy that you did, and you've saved so much money. 50% off, and all these are while supplies last. Another good one is the City Sites kit. I wish I had my samples here, but I didn't bring them. The City Sites kit is a great masculine card kit, and it's normally $21. It's on sale for $10.50 until it's gone. So I bought a couple more of those. And the layered landscape kits, those were the frames, and that's also 50% off. Yeah, 50% off. Am I reading that right? Layered landscape, 40% off. So that's a fun one. Even if you don't want to make those layered pieces, you could always use the frames and do something else with them. So that's kind of a fun one. In addition, there are other stamp sets and designer paper, dies, memories and more cards. You're going to see some items that are from Celebration 2025, and those are while supplies last until like September-ish. And so if you missed out on any of those, there's some stamp sets, designer paper, some ribbon. Make sure to grab those at discounted prices while they last. If you haven't heard yet, Celebration is not gonna happen anymore. So this is kind of one last hurrah for Celebration. There is something fun coming, and I can't remember if I'm allowed to talk about it, but just trust me. I think you'll love it, and I'll be able to share some more details in a couple months if I can't yet. But anyway, Celebration items, if you miss them, you can grab them, as well as some other products. In fact, we're going to use some designer paper today with our projects that use some of this country lace designer paper, which is on the last chance list now. This one is so pretty. It was part of that country birdhouse suite, and so there was country lace and country woods, and so I think this is just going to be a really pretty background to the cards that we're making today. But before we get to that, I want to talk about these 3 new kits that are available. I put in the pre-order that I said came today. I actually did open a few things. I opened up these kits. I want to share them with you because they are really fun. The first one is called Bunch of Thanks, and that is this box. And look at these cute shaped cards. They are a little bit smaller than I thought. They do have some envelopes that coordinate. And so the envelope is a regular size envelope, so it should be a regular stamp to mail these cards. It has a little twine that you can kind of just pull off, and then it opens up the little bouquet, and there's not a lot, but just a little room to write a little message there. So it says, "So very grateful. Thank you." And then the other one, we have just slightly different flowers. So there are 2 different kinds of the bouquets, and you'll get enough materials to make 4 of each of these shaped cards. Super cute. I am really loving them. But the second kit is my favorite. And just like always with these kits, the photo does not do it justice. The second one's called Brighten Your Day, and you guys This reminds me a lot of some of the other, there was like a black and white kit or a black and ivory, and then we had another one that had some really pretty like vellum pieces. So the thing that impresses me about this card kit is that the cards and the envelopes have sort of this like textured feel, like almost a watercolor paper. There are 3 different cards, and you're going to get materials to make 3 of each. So this card kit makes 9 cards total. It's not a stamping kit, so all the pieces are laser cut, ready to go. You're just putting the card together, but they will still feel very special, and whoever gets them will feel very loved. Printed envelopes to go with. We've got the fern, we've got the flowers, hoping this brightens your day, and look at these birds. Just a little note. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, the laser cut detail on these cards is so amazing. So these kits just came out on Tuesday. This one's called Brighten Your Day, and you do get enough materials to make 9 cards total. So I think you're definitely going to want to add this one to your cart. It is so gorgeous. Are we having some issues with it cutting out? Hopefully not. I'm trying to watch, but hopefully that's not an issue. And yes, no more celebration, Jessica. Stampin' Up has been doing celebration for many, many years, and they've decided to do a little something different in 2026, and I'm super excited about it. We are doing a new kind of monthly thing where you can get some exclusive products every month. So it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited. And and there are lots of fun things planned for 2026. So don't worry. Our third kit here is called Harvest Home Garland. I didn't get a chance to put this together, but I just wanted to show you like the 3D elements that are part of this garland, including these acorns. There is the actual garland. It's very like heavy duty. And then all of these leaves, you can punch out. They have different textures. Can you see the textures? There's foil, different textured paper, some printed, colored printed leaves. So you're going to kind of put these together to create a home decor piece called Harvest Home Garland. And this one I think is going to be really, really pretty for Thanksgiving, but also just for fall. I love decorating for fall, so I totally see myself making this up like in September and you know, having it up through Thanksgiving on the mantle by the fireplace. I think this is going to be such a pretty one. So I'll put this together when I get home, and I'll try to maybe share it after I get it put together. But this is available right now. All 3 of these kits available in September, and so you don't have to wait to get the new product. All right, so we're going to make 2 cards using this Country Lace Designer paper in the Label Me Grateful bundle. Now you have to give me a thumbs up. Let me know, is this bundle on your wish list? Have you been thinking about this one? Like I said, it just came out last month and I didn't get it right away, but I think the sentiments are really fantastic. You are so appreciated. You're the best. Thank you. A little kindness makes a big difference, and so grateful for that heart of yours. I can think of so many people that I need to make cards with these greetings for. I am thankful for so very many of you. Nancy, let me double check on that garland length for you. I'm sure that it says in the, sure it says here how long this is. Oh gosh, maybe it doesn't say. It does require a glue gun, I will warn you. So if you don't have a hot glue gun, you'll definitely want to get one to go with this project kit. It may say so in the store. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure, but I would say that this is 4 inches across. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would say at least 20 inches across. Sorry, that's not a better measurement. Okay. I would guess like 20 inches is I would say an underestimate. I would say it's probably like 24 to 28 inches. And that's just a guess. Okay, let's see here. Stampin' Up. Oh, the quick little videos putting the kits together. Yes. So if you get that kit or any of the kits, there are little QR codes on the instructions, and you can follow along and watch someone from Stampin' Up kind of show you some tips and put together those kits. So it's really great. Thank you so much for answering. I'm the mom, that's why. The garland is 5 feet 5 inches, so just as tall as me. I'm the garland. I don't know what that works out to be in inches. 12 times 5 is 50, 65 inches. Oh, Vicky, hi! I was way off. 20, I wasn't doing circumference. I was doing diameter. So that was where I was off. That makes so much more sense because 20 inches wouldn't be that long. So 5 feet 5 inches. Thank you for giving us that answer. And I'm sure that was in the online store. That's such a wealth of information there. 65 inches, Mesa, thank you. All right, Label Me Grateful has these fantastic sentiments, and really it was the dies that kind of turned me onto this bundle. We have a fantastic sort of rounded label here, and then some different detail dies with longer leaves, some maple leaves, another leaf shape, some acorns, a flower, and I just thought it would be so pretty. So the cards I'm making today, I'm actually copying, casing from Stampin' Up. I'm changing up the colors a little bit to make them my own, but speaking of the online store, that's a lot of times where I look for inspiration. So I got this bundle, and tonight I'm like, what do I make? What do I make? I went to the online store and I looked at the card samples. So when you are looking at the product page, you can like click over with the arrow and you can view other images. Sometimes there are additional product images, sometimes there's additional project images. And so that's where I found these ideas. Were in the online store. And like I said, I just changed up the colors a little bit, and I'm going to kind of make them my own. So let's start with the flower card, and then we'll do the fall card. For the flower card, I'm using Petal Pink and Crumb Cake. I love this combination, and I just realized that I was supposed to do another layer of Crumb Cake. I'm glancing around. My Sue stamper is not here. I think I have a piece here that I can use. I wanted to add like a rectangle behind the die cut label. And I'm gonna just cut one really quick. Let's see, this label is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I'm gonna go 2 3/4 by, that would have to be 4, but I've cut off my corner there. You know what, you can't really tell. Oh no, I should just go get a new piece. Do I have one? I feel like I cut one in half. I should have one close by. Hang on. Okay, I think that was 2 3/4 by 4. Yeah, that looks good. And I pre-die cut some pieces so that we could speed up our our process a little bit here. I have a piece of that designer paper, that country lace paper, that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I also need a basket of supplies. So we are going to use some adhesive, the Stampin' Seal, to add this to the card. So I feel like I just need to come up on, the whole camera is like sinking. Let's try to come up a little bit with it. That's better, I think. And then for this one, I'm going to use the sentiment. Let's see here. A little kindness makes a big difference. Put a flower over it. I love that. A flower covers up everything, right? Little kindness makes a big difference. Let's see. Cheryl, oh, she's asking, Sharon, did you order the Child is Born stamp set? That was an interesting stamp set. The Child is Born. I did not get it. It's kind of a sketchy nativity set, and I am sort of freaked out that there's no faces on the people. And I thought I could draw them in, but mine face, they wouldn't look so good. So I know the kids just left and went to the park. One of their favorite things, there's so many little parks here, and they always love going and hanging out at the park, and it's about sunset time. And so my kids always love to go out at sunset and take pictures of the sunset. So they're out. I'm sure they're coming back though in a little bit. Yeah, Susan says she's gonna add faces. I'm waiting to see. Let's see how those faces turn out. Maybe you'll convince me with the faces, but I'm not so confident in my ability to add faces. I'm using early espresso for the sentiment here, and I left a little room for our flower at the bottom. I'm going to layer some of these pieces. I have 2 different flowers. I just kind of wanted to like offset them a little bit, and I'm gonna add those like right in the center. And then I've got leaves with crumb cake. I was trying to be a little like, you know, alternative with my colors and not use like green, and I thought bringing in the crumb cake would be kind of pretty. And then oh, I thought that I thought that I had cut 2 of these, but I'm only seeing 1. So I'm going to just cut it and improvise. And I'll put 1 over here with a little white and 1 over here with a little white. And I don't know, does that look okay? I feel like it looks really funky. I'm gonna kind of give it a little more shape. There, that's a little bit better. It doesn't look so chunky. Okay, so we are going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals and some glue dots to layer our pieces together. Let's start with the flowers and layer those. And like I said, I'm going to kind of off-center them, and then I have some gems to go in the middle. You guys, I'm really sad because there are some of my favorite things that are retiring on the last chance list, and I'm going to do regular adhesive here, and I'm really sad about that because once it retires, I gotta kind of put it away. So one of my favorite things, let's see where I put it. Oh, right here. The textured dots, the adhesive textured dots. I think these are so pretty and go with so many things. And I'm so sad to see them go because I've been using them a lot, especially with the beautiful gallery suites. I'm gonna do 3 in the center. I've kind of clustered 1 large one with 2 smaller ones to be in the center of that flower. And I think it kind of ties in the darker sentiment there. I guess before I put this down, or at least I need to lift it up because I need to add some of these under the flower. So let me put this back up again. Very gentle, just pull that up. And I'm just gonna put some adhesive here, which the flower is then going to cover up. And I'm going to add these very delicate little die cuts on either side. And this one too, just kind of tuck that in here. There. Oops, that didn't stick. There. Still didn't stick. The flower in the middle. Perfect. Okay. There we go. I'm going to add this label to the crumb cake cardstock with some Stampin' Dimensionals. These are the kit ones. I'm going to grab a different sheet. And then I'm also going to use some dimensionals to add the crumb cake cardstock to the card base. So I always say I try to keep my dimensionals limited to just 2 layers, and I don't want my card to be too thick. You could put that on with some regular adhesive, but this card is kind of simple, and so I just want to add a little more dimension to it just to make it a little bit more special. You got to be careful with your cards and not make them too thick. I just got a message from Mio, and she received a great big card swap that we sent, and she ended up having to pay postage on it, and the post office said that it was a parcel. And Mio, I'm going to send you some money to cover that, but I wish that it wasn't so subjective when you send cards like that are bumpy to the post office, because there are some very specific rules. I'm adding some adhesive here because it's kind of peeling up. There are some very specific rules about non-machinable cards, and so I want you to know in the United States what those regulations for non-machinable cards are, so that you could try to argue if you are asked to pay extra postage. I think Mio said she paid $7.60 postage due for this card because they said that it was a parcel. Now, a non-machinable first class letter has to meet certain regulations. And so here are those 3 regulations. A non-machinable first class letter is a card that is less than 6 inches by 9 inches. It is less than 1/4 inch thick, and it is less than 3.5 ounces in weight. And so if the card meets all of those criteria, then it qualifies as a non-machinable first class letter. And so you may have to pay additional ounces on it. You do have to pay the non-machinable surcharge, but a non-machinable first class letter should not qualify for parcel postage, like parcel meaning a ground advantage package rate. And so sometimes if your cards are really thick, I have seen cards that are thicker than 1/4 inch. And so you have to be careful about doing that. Now this is, it is less than 1/4 inch thick. So this would qualify. I would probably, with the embellishments on there, like I mail a lot of cards non-machinable anytime there's kind of extra bumps in there, because the machines that our post office runs the letters through, they really like smash the cards in. And so sometimes we have got these embellishments or ribbon or other bumpy things, and you may think it's going to go through okay, but it may jam up the machine. It may tear through the card. I've gotten cards that the embellishments have torn through the envelope. And so a lot of our handmade elements are not intended for postal machines. So non-machinable is the way to go. And I'm sure that card was marked as non-machinable, but sometimes the post office is like, no, this doesn't meet this, or like I said, it's subjective. They just look at it and they say, nope, I don't think that's right. So I would fight and I would argue if they try to charge you a package price for a card. And this is crazy to say, but like if one person says, no, I would honestly leave and come back another day and talk to somebody else. But that's also the very tricky thing, is I get a lot of cards for the Great Big Card Swap. Like I would say I get 100 cards a month, and there are cards that come through, and sometimes they ask me to pay extra postage and I fight it. But sometimes things come through with so little postage. I'm like, I don't know how they got away with that. And other times they come through and people have put way too much postage on it. So make sure that you know your postal regulations and that you are pointing them out if you think you've met the postal regulations. So first class non-machinable letter is under 3.5 ounces, under 6 by 9 inches, and under 1/4 inch thickness. And so if you get out your ruler, let's do that. Let's take a look at what a 1/4 inch looks like. So that is a 1/4 inch right there. And so like this card doesn't even come close to being a 1/4 inch thick, but I know that many of you do have very thick cards when you have lots of layers and things like that. Anyway, just little postal talk. If you have any questions, I mail a lot. I spend a lot. I spend a lot on postage every year. I'm happy to answer as much as I can. Nancy says she worked at a payment processing center and processed so many envelopes that were very thick with only one stamp. So generally with paper is very machinable. It's very flexible, and so you can get away with just a regular class or first class stamp. Now, a first class letter without additional postage is 1 ounce, and a lot of our cards, like when I mail a kit card, I would say it probably weighs between 7/10 to 8/10 of an ounce. You know, so a lot of the cards I send are well under an ounce. I know some of you really layer it up, and then you're going to need to have additional postage. So you may need a non-machinable stamp and an additional postage stamp. Kathy says her PO box or her post office is now upcharging anything that is dimensionalized, even with a single layer of dimensionals. And by upcharging, I'm guessing you mean adding the non-machinable surcharge. Nancy says she was told that if it fits in the center slit of the paper trimmer, it only needs 1 stamp. So it's not necessarily about the thickness. When it comes to non-machinable, a lot of times it is whether the whole thing is consistently the same thickness. So when you have like a stack of papers folded in half, they're a consistent thickness throughout, but when you have something that has like right here, we have one embellishment that's really bumpy on one end, the machine, like that makes it non-machinable because it is thicker on one end than it is on the other. Nancy says she took a card to the Savoy post office. The clerk said that her card was a package. She took it to Champaign and the clerk accepted it without question. So I do find that the smaller post office does have maybe a little bit more stricter how they're reading the regulations. And the Champaign one, especially the one on Mattis, Nancy, is actually a regional distribution center. And so, well, there's one clerk in particular that I always go to because he has more of a not so subjective and very more quantitative fit. Like he gets out his little measuring tools, and so he says, nope, this is fine. So it really just does depend, and that's what frustrates me when you go to the post office. It all depends on who you talk to. Okay, let's move on. What do you think of our first card? Isn't it cute? This is that Country Lace designer paper, and we're going to do a different look with Label Me Grateful using some of the same designer paper, just some different patterns. Oh, I think I was supposed to do something on the inside. Well, I don't know, let's do it real quick. On the inside, let's do, what do we see on the front? A little kindness makes a big difference. Oh yeah, I love that. Let's just do like thank you on the front. And then one of my favorite ways to dress up the inside is with a little coordinating designer paper. So we'll add that too. Reaching over for a stamp really quick, or another block. Rather. So this is my bundle. Originally I was like, oh, I'm going to use one of Mom's, and I just like, I don't know, ran out of time. And so I thought I would use this one that I brought from home. Right on there. Okay, let's get our brown ink out again. Early espresso. Alita's saying, she said, the other day I tried to mail a card and a little gift in a small bubble envelope, and they wanted over $6. She took it back home, put it in a 6x9 envelope with a non-machinable stamp, and they took it. So a lot of times it does depend on the packaging that you use for your cards. Like I've always thought of padded mailers as being automatically a package rate, but when I took it to the post office and asked about one, the clerk told me not necessarily. Again, it just depends on, you know, like if it meets that 1/4 inch thickness and, you know, all that stuff. So if you are mailing a card and you want to do that non-machinable first class postage, then I highly recommend having it in an envelope, because I think when you start putting it in a box or even a padded mailer, sometimes that leans more towards being considered a package. Okay, this was first card. Our second card, like I said, we're going to do a little bit more of a fall vibe here. And this paper, like I said, I did die cut. I've got some of these die cuts in Old Olive and some acorns and early espresso, some smaller leaves in crumb cake, some bigger leaves in Cajun craze, 3 different options because I couldn't decide, and 2 options for our card base. So I did do a crumb cake embossed layer with that perfect plaid. I love this one. It was maybe originally for Christmas, but I think it's really pretty for fall. You know, just it reminds me of like flannel and you know, warm and cozy things. So should we do this card on a crumb cake card base with, or I'm sorry, Cajun craze with crumb cake, or should we go crumb cake on crumb cake? Let me show you some of the other elements. So we are going to use one of these die cut tags, which is also crumb cake and or white. And so maybe that's too much crumb cake going on. And then I think with this one, I was going to cut the middle and stamp "You're So Appreciated." And then we're going to add some of the leaves and kind of layer. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, isn't it? Layer some of these. We'll do a little better job with our layering. I thought I had more of these little leaves, but I guess not. And so then the center will have the sentiment. So Cajun craze or crumb cake. Tell me what you want for the card base. Meanwhile, I'm going to stamp "You're So Appreciated" in the center of the white label, and we will then we'll layer things together. We had another option for the label. Too many things. I know, I'm sorry. I'm giving you guys too many options today. "You're So Appreciated." I still have to send thank you cards for all my birthday gifts. I just feel like I'm so far behind on everything. We're going to be back next week, and there's so much to do. I finished designing today. I finished designing the July project kit, which I know was supposed to happen last week, but I got it done. I'm going to show you those cards because next week I got to get the kits out and in the mail, and then we're going to do that stamp along class on the last Thursday of August. What date is that? Let me look really quick. The last Thursday, it'll be August 28th that we have our stamp along class. And so I'm really excited about that. Ink pad over here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Overwhelmingly, you guys are saying Cajun craze. I feel like you definitely want some color, some more color in the background there. And I think I agree with you. So I'm happy that you picked that. I'm doing "You're So Appreciated" in the center. And then I'm going to cut here so that we have just like, I die cut it so that we'd have the rounded edges. And that's going to kind of go across the label. Okay, so second question, we got our card base color. The second question is, do we want to have the label that is crumb cake and white or just crumb cake? I know they're probably very similar. Maybe it's hard to tell on camera, and honestly, either option truly is going to be a good one. Do you know what school starts next week for my kids? Is that crazy? Next week. So we get home and then like they start school literally 2 days later. It's bananas. I just can't believe that our summer is nearly done. It's gone so very fast. Oh, I trimmed that just a little too close on the one side. I should have maybe trimmed it before I stamped it, but too late. So we have that. So we've got the rounded edges. It's going to fit right on the label and look like it was kind of meant to be that way. Crumb cake, let's see here. Alita, the class will be in the evening. It's going to be a regular Thursday night stamp therapy. So normally I was always doing on the last Thursday, I was always revealing the kit for the month. And so we're still going to do that, except we're going to stamp together the previous month's kit. And then I will show you the projects for the current month. So on August 28th, we'll stamp the projects from July together because everyone will have their kits. And then I'll show you the projects for August, which we'll then make together in September. Hopefully that makes sense. I know, right? Aren't these colors fantastic for fall? Okay, let's see. You guys are saying the crumb cake one, Vicky and Susan, but Mesa likes the crumb cake in white. Sharon likes crumb cake. Hi, Catherine. Christina says crumb cake in white. Heather says crumb cake in white. Nancy says crumb cake. I know you guys are really torn on this one. There's not a wrong one. Seriously, they are sort of interchangeable. I think I'm going to do this one because there's more contrast. Let me show you just the greetings. There's more contrast here with just the crumb cake than with the crumb cake and the white. I think the white kind of gets lost on the white and crumb cake, and I know that you probably couldn't see it very well before, so maybe this changes your minds. But I think I am going to go with this one, with just the crumb cake one. And like I said, it's not wrong either way. Okay, so we're going to layer some of these things to go like under here. Then we'll add this with Stampin' Dimensionals, add that with Stampin' Dimensionals. I know it's almost like the same layout that we just did, but c'est la vie. Okay, that means just life. That's life in French. C'est la vie. That's life. Okay, this is going to go on. I do have... oh my gosh, there's some really gorgeous fall things coming out. I haven't cracked them open and played with them yet, but like I would love to just like stamp some leaves in here. Or maybe I'll add some die cut leaves. When I'm all done, I'll go die cut some more and just like add a couple down here in the corner. That will be my plan. So I'm gonna leave that for right now. On this piece, we're going to layer. So let's start with the green. And I think the best thing here is going to be the liquid glue. So I'm going to protect my work surface with Poor Stampers silicone mat. And that is an empty Stampin' Dimensional sheet. It is adhesive, resistant, and a nice way to protect your surface. I know you can never have that. I agree, Susan. You can never have too many. You never have too many leaf sets. They're always so good. I do want to come off the edge. I think just a smidge here, and this one is going to go off the edge as well. Oh. Holding those down. I'll use my snips and I'm just going to snip off the stems. Okay, and then we're going to do now on this sample that I'm copying. I told you I was copying. They use 2 on one end and we're going to use 1 on the other. We talk about that a lot, doing things like in 3s. And so I'm just going to snip this apart and use just 1 of those. So we'll put that down here, that down there. I love that. Oh, we're going to bring in some linen thread. I love it. Do you guys use linen thread as much as I do? It's so perfect for the fall. Bring that right there. Put this one over here. going to do, I thought I had more of these leaves. So I'm just going to do the 2 of them up in the corner. I was supposed to be using this, wasn't I? To protect my surface. And I'm going to kind of tuck underneath. Oops. The green one's peeking through. And then I will use the brown. Now, the original sample had like a copper die cut, like a foil, and that is so pretty. I really love the way the copper looks on here, but I decided to stick with the darker early espresso. Okay. Oh, actually, look at that. I do have some extra pieces maybe I can use on the inside. We've got our pieces. I'm going to add the sentiment with Stampin' Dimensionals. I know, Susan, I forgot about that. There is some new colored baker's twine in the online exclusives, I think. Sometimes I get them mixed up. I think it's the like Wonderful Autumn or something sweets. And it is so pretty. There's also a linen thread that's like black and silver with the Wonderful Christmas. That one's nice too. Now, somewhere on my table is some linen thread, and I'm going to do like a big bow to just have like some big loops. And my thought was that it would kind of just spread out like behind the leaves here. Make them a little bigger. And it's going to kind of go in the corner. And very, very tippity corner, like that. We'll use a little tear and tape to hold that in place. Oh, yes, that is good. Does that look about right? And some Stampin' Dimensionals. Right in the center. I don't know, should we go off center? Yeah, right in the center. Off center. I kind of want to go off center, but then there's not going to be room for the embellishments. I'm going to go like that, and the top left a little bit. Let's just scoot these out of the way. I'll finish that off later. we're going to use the same embellishments on the card because I love these so much. And I'm so sad that they're going away. Those textured, adhesive back textured dots. We're going to do 3. We're going to go 1, 2, down here in the corner, 1 up here in the corner. Where do I put it? I'm gonna do 5. I'm gonna do, did I lose one? I've got 3 down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So kind of smattered on there. So here was card number 2. And again, this is the Label Me Grateful bundle. So pretty. We did 2 different looks with this using that country lace designer paper. So we have a fall look, we have more of a spring look with the flowers. Tell me which one is your favorite, and have I made you give this bundle a second look? What do you think? Tell me what you think about these cards. Oh no, Robin, I'm so sorry to hear you lost power during the storm. I hope you are safe the rest of the evening and that all the bad weather has passed by you now. Oh, Tony, good to hear from you. I'm glad you've been working on some cards and multitasking. Before I let you go, I'm going to share the cards that I made for the July project kit. I also have a few mail call cards to share with you that I brought with me from home. So let's just set this aside. But if you enjoyed the Label Me Grateful cards, please give this video a thumbs up or heart or both or however you want to engage. I think technically on YouTube it's a thumbs up, but you can give me a heart in the comments or in the chat as well. So Label Me Grateful, let's put these aside. Let me show you the cards for the July bonus project kit. Now, the suite that we are featuring is the celebratory sips. And so this designer paper is so rich and beautiful and fun. This first card is going to be the back pocket card layout. I'm using Blackberry Bliss, some fresh freesia, and some images from the designer paper to create this card. Now, the celebratory sips has lots of fun little cocktails, mocktails, and other little fun drinks. They're not necessarily alcoholic, but if you don't want to use the cocktails on your card, you could easily substitute some flower images here instead of the cup that I cut from the designer paper. Another card here also uses those glasses of fun drinks, but if you prefer to have flowers instead, the flower background leaves this open to lots of different image possibilities. This one has a little flap that goes under the corner. Let's celebrate. And our last card, I love this simple layout using some designer paper. And again, you could substitute different designer paper if you don't like the one with the drinks. I did bring in the birthday wishes from Simply Said. I just felt like it needed a little bit more bold of a grading with such a busy designer paper in the background. On the inside, I have a little glue goobers, but I used some more designer paper to stamp the drink and a little paper piecing with the umbrella to bring in some of those flowers. So these are going to be the cards that we make in our Stamp Along With Me class on Thursday, August 28th. If you ordered from me in July, $40 or more before rewards, tax and shipping, or after rewards, before tax and shipping, you're going to get a project kit in the mail from me, so watch for that. I'll be mailing them out in this week ahead, so next week, and then sometimes it takes a week or so to get them, but you should get them before our class on the 28th, and I'll try to have the extra kits available early so that if you would like to purchase a kit to stamp with us, that will be an option. Oh, yum, 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 blackberry jasmine tea. That sounds delicious. I think there's so many fun drinks out there. Like there was some little strawberry drink at Starbucks the other day that looked just super yummy. I don't think it had caffeine or anything. It was just like sort of like a refresher kind of drink. Maybe it does have caffeine. I don't know. But there's a new place by us called 7 Brew that has lots of fun, like in Utah they call them dirty sodas, and it's like, you know, soda that has different things in it, like cream and other added flavors and bits to make it kind of fun. And Susan, yes, you will be able to buy just the instructions. I'll have the PDF already. If nothing else, it will be ready the day of the class, and so you'll be able to purchase that and follow right along with the instructions and the measurements and all of those things. So if you would like to follow along with supplies of your own, that's also an option. Let me show you some fun cards I received in the mail. Of course, I had a birthday a couple weeks ago, and so I got some belated birthday cards, and I just wanted to share those with you really quick. This one comes from Janice Torgerson. I love this fun fold. I almost thought I should do this again tonight. This is a card I've done before, so I'll try to remember to link up in the video description if you would like to see it. I call it like a card on a card because it's like a little Z fold card on a card, and it's just so cute. I love these little birthday chicks. This was such a fun stamp set, and I'm so happy to use it. So fun with the bright yellow gingham from the Floral Delight. So thank you so much, Janice, for that fun card. It totally made my day. Here's a card from Julia Mazer. I love this card with the coneflower bundle. Cloud cover for the card base, some old olive, and some darling duckling, could be crushed curry, I'm not entirely sure. I've been like resisting this bundle, and I don't know, every time I receive a card with it, I'm like, maybe I should get it. Maybe I should get it. Is this one on your list? Do you guys have the coneflower bundle? I saw it on Mom's shelf, so maybe I'll have a chance to play with it before we go. If not, I'll borrow it from somebody. Such a beautiful card, Julia. Thank you so much for thinking of me. It really made my day. Another birthday card, this one from Jill Good with the cute little party pandas. This was a celebration gift a few years ago. It's been a little while now. And of course, she used my favorite stamp set, With You in Mind, the one that I got to help design. The star and the best wishes stamp comes from that one. And I always love to see that. So thank you so much, Jill, for using my stamp set and for sending me such a cute birthday card. This birthday card came from Yvette Klein with some gorgeous designer paper. These colors, Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen, are now retired. She also used the Happy Birthday from With You in Mind, my stamp set. Just such a gorgeous card. These colors are some of my favorite, and so it just made me so happy to see them. Thank you, Yvette. I got 2 cards from Melody Lampert, a thank you and a birthday card. Both of these, do you recognize, are paper pumpkin kits. I love paper pumpkin so much, and I forgot to bring my little printout, but if you do not subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, I just want to remind you that this coming Sunday, August 10th, is the last day to subscribe to get the August kit, and this August kit includes a bonus free stamp set. So instead of 1 stamp set, you're going to get 2 in this August kit. The stamp set includes like a teapot image and some flowers. The theme of this kit is called Farmhouse Floral, and so we don't know exactly what the cards are going to look like, but it sort of, I think, is going to have some florals and maybe some unexpected kind of containers. So I think it's going to be really beautiful, and who doesn't love a bonus free stamp set? So you can check that out in the online store at juliedavison.com/shop. There's a whole section, a whole tab for Paper Pumpkin subscriptions. You can manage your subscription there. You can also browse and purchase past kits and refills, and they have a special add-on die set every quarter, which coordinates with each Paper Pumpkin kit in that quarter. And so the special die set that was just added has a circle, the word hello, and then there are dies that create either a strawberry or an acorn, and so they kind of work in that dual way that you can use them for both. So thank you, Melody, for sending me these bright and beautiful cards. They just made my day. Paper Pumpkin is so perfect when you just need a quick card and you don't want to think about what to design. You can just follow along and create the kit just as it is. All right. Thank you so much for blessing me with your beautiful cards. It was my birthday, so I feel like I got extra cards for that, and I just want to give a shout out to everyone for your birthday wishes. But I also realize how important it is to send cards, and so I hope that you'll join me this week in sending cards of gratitude or just thinking of you just because to your friends and family so they can feel as loved as I do right now. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you you enjoyed the cards that I shared, and I look forward to sharing with you again. Mom and I are planning to film. We've got like just a limited amount of time left of my visit, but we're going to film together in person for Sunday stamping, and I'm so excited. We'll be featuring some in colors and the Encircled with Love stamp set, so be sure to tune in on Sunday at noon Central, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and what is that, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Mountain time, all the time zones wherever you are in the world. Make sure to tune in so you can see what we create. We're going to have so much fun on Sunday. So thanks again, and I hope that you have a fabulous week. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.